As we walk up on our water heater, the main water shutoff valve to the house, we're going to have, looks to me like a water conditioning thing here, maybe water treatment, softener, something like that. We've got our gas coming in, okay. These are allowed, okay, as long as they're not 1/2 inches. Alright, so we got our sediment trap, got our gas valve, looks like our gas valve, either that or they're used to me. I just took the red off, but I can't tell, but it looks like the gas might have been dialed in. I can't tell that it hasn't. Looks like it has. And then coming on over here, this screen gets taken out and cleaned once a year, okay? Now, we don't maintain a conventional water heater like we should. We get about 10 years out of them. They cost about $1,000 or $1,500 now. And everybody's acceptable with that. Every 10 years you buy a new water heater. You know, these water heaters cost a lot more. These water heaters cost a lot more. And these water heaters last a little longer too. So they last, 10, 15 years. And but if you want it to last 15 years, I'm not saying it'll last 15 years. It might last 16, it might last 17, it might last 14. But to get it to last as long as it's supposed to, we're supposed to clean that screen out once a year. It's very easy. It's very quick, and it lengthens because this whole thing, the whole idea is we pay a little extra for a high efficiency tankless water heater. You pay a little extra for that. It lasts a little longer, okay? So, and then it saves you a little money in operation, but it can't do its job like it's supposed to if you don't clean that screen. You can go on. I got instructions baked into your inspection report to some YouTube links. You can go on YouTube. All you got to do is figure out how to do these two valves like this and isolate it and take it out and clean it. And the worst thing that's going to happen is you're going to get wet, okay? Because it's not hot water in here, okay? It's a tankless water heater on demand. So that's the worst thing that's going to happen to you is you're going to get wet. But maybe you don't want to get wet. Maybe you want to hire a plumber to come in here and do that, okay? So far everything's good, right? So it's time to start picking on people. Yeah, it is. Okay, this is our pressure relief valve. That's properly discharged on the other side of the wall. I saw that. You saw it in another video. But the plumbing code says there should be a vacuum breaker in this. Huh. And come up over here, and you see that? The manufacturer's installation instructions. Okay, that's a cap. This is for interior installation. They think the manufacturer calls for, says that you should have a condensate drain line that comes out, it makes a loop, and then discharges with an air gap in the same room with the water heater. Now you've got this with an air gap, and you've got this with an air gap. Now what's the cheapest, most economical way? I mean, we can argue about it because our time is free. We don't have to worry about our time. We don't get paid by the hour here. All right, so we can argue, we can spend 3 people half a day conference call on this, and then come up with a solution. We're going to come up with a solution anyway. Why not just a safety pan, okay? So that vacuum breaker can go in and we can install that condensate drain line. And everything is hunky-dory. That's the quickest, easiest way. All roads lead to Rome. That's the quickest, easiest way. That's the shortcut. That's how you get it done. All right? Well, you don't even need this. Actually, you kind of do. See, these can even be plastic. Okay, what this does at high efficiency, on demand, is you have coils inside of here. You have a heat exchanger inside of here. And it circulates the water around and around and around. Around and around and around. The fire that you made, the heat that you made, it goes around so many times that extracts all the heat out. All right, and puts it into the water because you paid for that heat to go into the water. So it circulates in there in this heat exchanger and extracts all the heat that you paid for coming in and goes directly into the water, does not go out the exhaust. Other things go out the exhaust, carbon monoxide being one of them. So we want an exhaust. We need an exhaust. But a byproduct of doing all this condensation, a byproduct of distilling all this down, okay, is condensate. Condensate's very acidic. All right? So we got acidic condensate. Now, if it can't go out this drain, it might, okay? A symptom is that it might have a big old rusty stain down the other side of the wall. Look out for that. But it's going to blow out your heat exchanger. All that condensate coming back into the heat exchanger, sitting in the heat exchanger. Remember, this is supposed to last 20 years. It's supposed to last 15 years. It's supposed to last, I don't know how long it'll last. It might only last 7 years, the way it's set up now. All right, so, and the bill will be long gone. Your warranty will be long over. Everybody will be gone. And your cost to carry the note, expenses that you incur along with your payment, okay? That's what the house costs. That's what the note costs. That's what the whole trip is about. And if you're replacing these sooner rather than later, well, that's mismanagement. That's mismanagement. So you should have a drain. And I've got instructions baked in your inspection report. Since they don't have the instructions here, don't worry. I've got the instructions baked inside your inspection report. Comes out, makes a loop, air gap. Where does it go? It doesn't go on the floor. Okay. You got an air gap. Wow, are you going to spill anything? We don't want it to go on the floor. No safety pan. So we do not have an anti-siphon. We do not have an air gap. We do not have a safety pan. Oh, wait a minute. While we're at it, we do have GFCI.